Hello, and welcome to my sci-fi modern Lego army. As you can see, it's getting up there. It's getting pretty darn up there. But, if you'd like to see all the specifics, you can go ahead and tune in to the rest of all of this video. Starting off in the back, we have our giant, super heavy tank. I won't go into the lore of things inside of this video, as I can't remember all of it off the top of my head, and don't feel like taking the 3 weeks it would take to edit voiceover for it. But, just rest assured, all of these have, sci-fi writers' amount of lore about them, and this is no exception. It is meant to be minifig scale, despite the fact that the set very obviously is not, and it, is one of those type of sci-fi super heavy tanks, except this one is based on the 1945 T-28. Over here, I have a light AFV. Got a good old J.J. Abrams style lens flare there. But here, just a basic thing, no interior, roughly minifigure scale. Slightly under, just because minifig height is different from minifig width. And speaking of, we got some beefy boys over here. 12 of these blank Space Marine type figures, which are just used as power armor inquisitors. And then we have, if I can count, 24 of these support elements for them. Just some lighter infantry, which feature a design similar to everyone's favorite character from the Call of Duty Modern Warfare games. If this is not your favorite character from those games, you have an incorrect opinion. Behind them, we have 3 other auxiliary units from this little sub-faction, and then 2 minor leaders, which are based on some shield agents there. That guy, which is literally the minifigure that I use for my Nick Fury in a little fanfic project, and this random shield agent, which is being used as just a technician or something. Over here, we have some rabble, as these guys over here kind of have the opposite duty of Delta Force. Instead of fighting insurgencies, they are the ones that found them. And this is one of those insurgencies. Here we have 3 of these kind of ramshackle type of guys with some weapons that they probably shouldn't be having. They're going to be causing a whole bunch of trouble over inside of my Lego city that it is way too dark to see right now. And of course, every sci-fi faction needs its super soldier sci-fi project. This is one of them. By virtue of the fact that I wanted to use this minifigure that my friend got me for my birthday. So shout out my friend. Love you, V. Alright. Here we have some not at all evocative imagery here when it comes to soldiers, which, if you can't tell, are based on the US. Not gonna go into what they're rather obviously based on, because YouTube has a terms of service that it likes to banhammer things over. But if you can put 2 and 2 together of these guys looking like this and being a sci-fi future America, well, hopefully you can see what they're supposed to be. Moving on, you get to see some of those Fallout US plus Space Marine type of affects here with these Space Marines. Got 12 of these more heroic style type of salamander-based ones. They're more heroic style, not only because they're based on the salamanders, but also because they have this kind of candy color in comparison to the realistic drab of everyone else. We got a little drill sergeant here, a tanker, some female snipers, and I only notate that because them and this one commander here are the only women in this army. There is a lore reason for that, but yeah, I just thought it was interesting to point out. Got a tank commander and then 2 of these officers here. Kind of like their suits. Not sure how American they give. Kind of a artifact of the sets that I used to build this army. If you can't tell, lots of these vehicles are real-life Chinese or Russian ones. But if America isn't anything, when it's being nefarious, it is hypocritical. So why not cast all of the empire as it pretends it is nothing like, as the purveyors of its vehicles or something. I don't know. Lore and lore. Theming and stuff. Got some Dark Angel style Space Marine guys. They're darker, if you can't tell. And they've got some heavier weapons, if it's hard to see based on the black backing and their dark green carapaces. Behind here, we have some special forces. They are called, if I'm not mistaken, Deltas in universe, but they're not too similar to real-life Delta Force, so don't really read too much into that. We've got some sentry turrets, and these sentry turrets are heavy weapon ones, mostly, except they have little servitor heads in there. So, although this leans on the Warhammer side of robot respect, that doesn't mean they don't have automatons, just means they're powered by human head, brains, things. Back here we got a missile, big old one, and then over here we got a Black Hawk. Black spacebar Hawk. No, no, no. Here we have some heavy infantry. This is kind of based on the heavy infantry from Fallout mostly. It does use a singular Warhammer piece, that like Cadian Shock Trooper, but I mean, this is more Fallout American Soldier than it is anything. This could be Nate from your Fallout 4 playthrough, for real. This one has a medic sign, but most of them have just generic ones, or the house sign. I'm not sure what that means in 40k canon, and I don't care to make a reason inside of mine, so I don't know. Comment what you want that to be inside of the comments. Some of them, however, have this more realistic, and by realistic I mean modern, type of ceramic and cloth armor with some pouches on the front. Some of them have different colored helmets or bodices. These ones come from the Leopard 2 tank that I have converted into some other sci-fi stuff. Here we have some flame troopers, and they are basically the same body carapace as most of these heavy troopers, except I've subbed out their helmets for these French World War I ones, and these kind of generic flame trooper masks. They're just flame-resistant gas mask and this flamethrower. It's a set that comes with that backpack that they have. I think it's pretty cool. Even comes with that little ribbon, but that little ribbon tears out very, very easily. I would not recommend this specific set unless you're only crafting mocks with them. Back here, we have some leaner infantry. These ones have las guns, or particle beam weapons, which is just any bolt action rifle. I just pretend that they work like the carbine from Halo. Here's one example of them. I think that this guy's bodice comes from either this set, or one of the sets like it, or that missile set. I don't quite remember. But all of these have more strapping on them than the other ones. This is another group. This one comes from the VN2 set. I only know this because I have a pair of those and a pair of duos of that guy. And then we have this one which uses pieces from, if I recall correctly, the light tank that I have 3 of. But They are very, very terrible minifigures. I mean, that set kind of goes for like $5-6, so I mean, not trying to, you know, beat any records, but it's a very, very, like, subpar figure there. Just throw on some armor for it. But here we got a little general. I think this guy could be named Toledo. Pretty interesting name for a guy. And there you go. Camera didn't want to focus on him. And the second I said, there you go, it didn't want to focus on him again. Doesn't that guy just look like a nefarious little guy? Ah, love him. Anyway. Let's try to stick him back on. Very stealth-like as we head over to our stealthy guys. Over here, we've got 3 more of those ghost-style guys, this time with tan armor and various weapons indeed. And then these black ones. Here we have one with heavy armor. Got one with light armor. And one with even lighter armor. And that same thing is replicated with the tan ones. We've got these servitor type heads. Hopefully servitor is not a copywritten word, or trademarked word rather. I'm really trying to get these correctly exposed. But let's see. There you go. Try to get that face print in there. But my camera really, really super hates being up close today for some reason. If I can link a separate video about those guys with a little bit more detail, I'll try. Next up, we've got this little crawler. Interesting thing. Again, my camera doesn't want to precisely focus on it, but hopefully you can get the gist. Over here we got some guys, which are Simbo. I think that they are pretty cool. Little side company. Got some tan ones here. Some tan and gray ones. And then some green ones. All of these used for just basic rabble. However, if you can't tell, they're really, really thin and gangly in comparison to a normal Lego figure. So, pretty early on, this faction stopped using them as cannon fodder and more of just like, well, we'll put you where you won't cause the most issues type of thing. We don't really need you to be skilled, I guess, is a good analogy for it. Got a little AA tank, either anti-drone or anti-low-flying aircraft, whether it be a good old strafing run or a helicopter. Some slight jamming on that one too, it looks like. Then we've got these, I have never heard of Krieg, what are you talking about? Soldiers. Legal team, do not come for me. As legally, these guys are distinct in their own ways. They've got a camo print underneath them, and that type of Krieger style armor. These ones are also very, very fickle. They come with the, I did not realize at the time, like gray version of some Israeli tank. And they are very, very low quality. Very low quality. Here are some other guys with that same armor, but now with a tan undergrowth. Undergrowth is a very weird word to have used there, but whatever. And then we have some bread and butter type troopers. These ones are meant to be some type of clone or similar, either clones of a small group of people or for this batch probably maybe 1 or 2. Here they are based on that type of Cadian body piece. This one being a, I think, sergeant, and the rest just being normal ones. Some of them having gas masks, some of them having these balaclavas around them, and let's see, some of them having this more modern style helmet and a normal face. That won't focus, of course. The ones in the back have a helmet that is kind of like those tan and gray ones before you. Over here, we've got some VN22s, or VN2s? I'm not sure. But they are in APC, question mark? Or IFE, used by the Chinese and Russian military, but given that the history that led to that happening in real life did not happen inside of my sci-fi universe, I'm pretending that that is made in the past 50 years of the 24th century. So, yeah, who cares? Same goes for this tank, which is definitely not a T80 something. I forgot. I think T85 is what this is meant to be. You can tell from this like little fantasy red light thing what an actual tank it is. If someone knows, let me know. But this tank, just a basic old, I'm pretty sure this is meant to be a Van Buren tank in lore. Shooting off a bit of a laser there. And then we have this amphibious assault tank. The real name and real life of it, I don't quite know off the top of my head. I couldn't even guess. But here it is in Lego glory. Most of these tanks and other armored fighting vehicles are within like 20-ish or lower dollars, and they are very awesome, and I very recommend them. I can't put links in the description because they disappear basically immediately, but they are very cool, and I do recommend them. So yeah, just lastly, we've got a couple of special soldiers for that type of Cadian bodice. We have an upgraded guy using this tank commander head. This Elder Maxon looking guy with a gold gun stolen from the Solites, and a more light Cadian bodice guy with that US tank commander helmet and a little pistol there. I was about to say las pistol, it's not a las pistol instead of my lore. So yeah. Alright. That was really long and really cool in my opinion. I really like these guys. I really want to make a mock with them. If you have an option or idea about what to do with them, what to use them in, if you have any U.S. history, U.S. politics, U.S. future type thing that you want to have the U.S. guys be the bad guys, and drop an idea below. Go ham. Start a fight in the comments. It's good for the algorithm. If you liked it, continue to tune in. I've got a couple of armies which I will run through in this chill format and eventually in a more structured and lore-friendly way. But for now, later!